Interesting, because this year there's one more official to get along with. The subject of Sherma Wise's feature tonight is the third official in this year's NBA.
They may have the most unpopular and thankless job. They are sometimes booed and yelled at by coaches, fans, and players for making calls some consider to be unfair. But this year, with the addition of a third referee, NBA officials hope the calls will be fairer and that there will be a curb to the violence which has plagued NBA games. In addition, many coaches feel the extra referee will see action on the weak side that is currently difficult for just two refs to see.
A lot of times with two refs, so much is taking place on the ball side, and one of the two is watching the ball itself and the action. The idea with a third official is to see some of the weak side action, and we all know there's a lot that goes on the other side of that court.
Indiana Pacers interim coach George Irvin says he is glad to see the additional ref in the game. He says he has wanted it for a number of years.
I just think that our players are too big, too quick for two guys to cover well. And the third official comes in and he can see a lot more what's happening on the weak side or away from the ball. The illegal defenses he can cover, and just regular court coverage, whether they be fast breaks or in the half court. But I think it'll clean up the play away from the ball.
Pacers assistant coach Mel Daniels says he thinks having three refs will eventually work out. But he says right now he has some problems with the new system.
Right now I think it's having a kind of an adverse effect on the game, simply because I don't think all three referees are in sync. And they're not making calls as efficiently as we thought they would. There's a lot of flaws to it, but I think once they get it worked out, it's going to be a good system. Pacer
forward Wayman Tisdale sees having an additional ref as a positive step towards cleaning up the game.
It's a little controversial, but I think it's going to help out in the long run, because a lot of them, as the referees get used to each other, I think it's going to clear up a lot of things that goes on inside. And luckily, I've had a couple of calls go my way this year because of it. You know, the extra referee saw what was going on, and he called it from me, and it was kind of surprised me that here this guy is coming in from a side that I'm not used to a referee coming in from.
Center Stuart Gray says at first he had some reservations about a third referee.
I was skeptical at first about it. As you know, I've not been one to worry about getting pushed and shoved, but I can see the purpose of it now. That you know, if they do see an elbow or something like that, that they're going to prevent a fist fight or something like that later on in the game. And you know, that's what they told us, and I do believe that now.
Only time will tell if the third referee has had the impact NBA officials had hoped for. Meanwhile, coaches and players remain optimistic that the additional ref will improve the game.